What's poppin', everybody? This is Ray Rawlins from the Ray Rawlins Network, and I'm joined by Mr. Alex Payne. Today, we're reviewing episode 3 of Futurama, man. Getting back into some of the old stuff we were doing. Futurama was a good series, and we're going to continue it on episode 3 today. Now, Mr. Alex Payne, I forgot what this episode was called, but refresh my memory and give us an episode breakdown on whatever happened in whatever episode we're talking about.
Well, this episode is called Roommate. I don't see how you could forget that, but hey, we all have a lapse of memory sometimes.
Yo, I swear I didn't see that on the thing, on the site where I watched it. But go ahead, give us an episode breakdown.
It was there. This episode is about Fry, who newly being in the future was staying at the office. He was staying at Speaking of memory, I can't remember what the place is called. But it's his place of employment. So eventually, they are Hermes and all of them kick him out because he's raising the water bill and being an inconvenience on everyone. So he decides to move in with Bender, but Bender lives in a friggin' probably a 2 foot by 2 foot cube. So Fry ain't about that life. So they get a new apartment together. But when they're in the new apartment, Bender's antenna is interfering with the TVs, so he has to move out. And after he moves out, missing his friend, he starts to get depressed and decides to not drink anymore. Which, for a robot is bad because alcohol refuels their cells. So eventually he decides that the only thing he could do is cut off his antenna. And yeah, that's the episode breakdown.
Okay. First thing I gotta say is that I noticed when was this? When did the series start again? It's like
Um,
2000, or no, it was 1999, wasn't it?
uh, I'm. I really don't. I really want to say it was 1999, but that doesn't
Okay,
sound. I would say at the very most 2000.
okay. The funny thing, and the reason why I brought that up is obviously it's 2019 when we're reviewing episode 3 of this show that came out obviously in the early 2000s. I know for sure it ended in like 2006, probably 2008, maybe. But I will say this. Seeing Bender, and how his antenna interfered with the TV and whatnot really fucked my head up. Because granted, I know obviously I'm a young cat. I'm 22 years old, but I know there was such a thing as old-fashioned TVs that required antennas and shit. And I used to
Wait!
have
But you
one,
got to
and they
think
used
about
to.
this though. You got to think about this though. They supposed to be 1,000 years in the future.
Right. Yes,
Well,
you are
well, what
100% correct, and
Well,
that's
how
what I
they
was gonna say.
described it. Well, how they described it though is that it was interfering with the satellite. So I guess they were still futuristic, but I don't know.
I don't know. You think everything, at least my vision of the future, everything would definitely be run off of like internet or something. So if anything, you're gonna see TVs be buffering and shit. But anyway, I'm not trying to drag this out too long. But the thing I'm trying to say is, man, one, that's one fucked up thing to kick somebody out over because their antennas interfering with your TV. Upgrade to a fucking streaming service or something, cause shit.
Well, I mean, it's interfering with the TV for the entire building. I mean,
No, yeah. But still, come on, man. Shit. Raise the dudes running something. I don't know. But I'm gonna let you do your first impressions, then we can talk about moments and really get into this.
my first impression is I don't know what is my first impression. I can't even say because I watched this episode so much times. My first impression watching it this time was all of the. Ooh, someone tooted the horn. Some I feel like I guess my impression watching it this time was a lot of the smaller things made me laugh more than the bigger things this time. Like as
Right.
a because I'm assuming your what you just mentioned was your first impression, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
slide into the moments. Like the shit that made me laugh was like friggin' well, first of all, the TV show. When Calculon proposes to the girl and he pulls out the nut and then you just hear like this super ghetto ass friggin' construction drilling sound. putting on the ring and shit. That was funny to me. And then it was like, what's that weird looking? And then Fry was like, what's that weird looking guy? He's like, oh, that's just a human. It's like, what does he do? He does human things. He laughs. He loves. He learns lessons. That was funny to me. Um, friggin' Mr. Farnsworth talking on the phone. It's like, what happened to him? To Shred, you say? How's his wife holding up? To Shred, you say? And shit like that. So yeah, that was like, I noticed that a lot of the smaller things made me laugh in this episode. When Hermes was eating the food that Zoidberg brought, he was like, "Oh, I made it myself," and he instantly wanted to throw up.
Yo, I'm pretty sure we all had one of those moments in our lives, like, you know, and I know it's fucked up, but I'm gonna mention this very quickly. I remember we were eating dinner one time, and I didn't get like a drinking glass, so my granddad, he always used to pick his nose and shit, or we we caught him on the couch one time scratching his nuts or whatever. Take a quick scratch, shoot, 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 and whatnot. So he like, here, bud, I got you. Got a motherfucking glass, and I legit did not drink out that motherfucker the whole meal. I swear to God. But I got, oh God, I'm gonna fucking put that shit in the sink. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go watch me some TV. Bloop, put that shit in the. But anyway, I gotta say one of my favorite moments of this episode is when Fry was watching the show, right, and they were in the office, and the Hermes, I guess is his name, got that motherfucking couch up out of there. Like, we'll bill you for the couch. We'll just that dude was not leaving. On God, he was like, "Yo, why is the couch going? Why is the TV getting smaller?" Bloop got his ass up out that joint. I said, "Listen, if they invent couches like that, they is some true gangsters, okay? You won't feel nobody moving or none of that." And obviously, I guess we can get a little bit more deeper into the episode. It's pretty cool to see that, Bender, it's kind of weird to see that although he's a robot, he does get emotional. Like, you can't argue that he is
Yeah.
emotional with this episode. It's like Fry did his ass. Would you say Fry did him bogus or not? Because we're gonna
Really, I would
slide into the review portion right here. Go ahead.
not really. I would say, if anything, Bender kind of overreacted to the situation. I mean, yeah, you might want to live with your friend, but it's like you don't need to get that all emotional about it.
No, and I suppose you're right. But even then, it's just like, cause I look at it this way. That's your boy. That's supposed to be your boy, your best friend, and whatnot. And I can see where Fry's coming from. He's like, "Yo, you can get it. You can get your own place. You can go back to where you were happy at. I can stay here." And I can totally get where he's coming from. But Bender's looking like, "Man, I thought you want to be my roommate. I thought we were, we tight. We're gonna be buds and shit." So he kind of felt betrayed. Like, damn, you're choosing this place over me. And then I think what really played a part is everybody was against him and Fry didn't stick up for him. So that's honestly was like, man, ooh, listen, I fucking felt that pain Bender was feeling. I ain't even lying to you looking at that. Oh, damn, Fry, you did my homie, my robot homie in. Come on, man. But another thing that I noticed, and I don't know if a lot of people notice this, but when Fry has his jacket on, he looks like a kid to me. Maybe he doesn't look like an adult. But once he took that
Uh,
jacket off, he looked all muscular as shit, all big and whatnot. Definitely too big for his shirt. He had his belly showing and shit. Some parts of the episode, if not all. But I definitely noticed that shit at the probably somewhere near the end of the episode. I'm like, yo, this dude motherfucking look big as hell, but once he puts that jacket on, he looks small. I don't know. I noticed that for sure though. That's one thing that really stuck out to me. Like, Fry looks like a man in there. Okay, I thought he was like a kid. But that's another thing that I noticed. What you think about that? Did you see that at all, or
nah, I didn't really pay attention to that. Well, I didn't
really?
notice it, I should say. Yeah, I never really noticed that.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely did. But
I
let's
think
get
it,
into the. Go ahead.
I think it was a cool aspect that, like, how they added the whole idea of him not drinking for drinking, like the whole flip of the idea of because he was on a drunken bender, except, and no pun intended, except he except he wasn't drinking because he's a robot, because drinking is what he needs to do, so not drinking
Right,
is the equivalent of drinking.
right.
So I like the idea of
It's
that and the flip of it and everything, you know.
right. Yeah, 'cause if you get all sad, usually you want to drink, but he's like, nah, I don't, fuck it, you know. So I do think that it's kind of cool though that they're living in the same spot. How did they fix the TV problem? Like, what happened with that? Because I know he got his antenna back after he cut it off, and I know they're
Oh,
friends. They're living together in the same apartment. I forgot how if they even fixed it at all.
no, they moved to. Remember, they went back to Bender's original apartment,
Oh hell
and then
no!
and then they had the full. Because then he had
Oh
a
yeah, because
closet.
a
The
big ass
closet.
closet, right? And Fry's like,
Yeah.
I can stay in here.
It's like, oh, you want to live in a closet? Humans.
Hell no! I would have been pissed. I was like, you expect me to move for your goof ass? Hell no! But listen, with all that being said, man, obviously Bender and Fry good friends and whatnot. Like I said, the whole emotional aspect is pretty cool. Besides all the little funny stuff too, I really enjoyed it. Let's get into the final reviews though. I gotta say, this episode, I want to say, felt somewhat average. Like it felt like an ordinary episode. It didn't feel like anything that was too out of this world. You know, it just felt like a normal
Hmm.
cartoon, nice 30-minute story. You know, you got a beginning, middle, end. You know, Fry needs to get out of the office. He needs to move out, find his own spot. Then it has that little twist of the whole little conflict of, yo, man, why didn't you stick it up for Bender in there? So it felt like a pretty normal episode. And obviously the whole, like I said, the emotional shit with Bender really cranked it up for me, like added more to the story and whatnot. So I gotta say, it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna give it a nice 7 out of 10. It's not out of this
Hmm.
world, but it's definitely not bad. I'll say that for sure. So I'll give it a nice 7 out of 10.
I think this one is like you said, it's like a cool average episode. You know, nothing too spectacular, but nothing bad either. You know, it has some good laughs in there. I mean, I also have the issue of watching it 9 million times, so I do kind of have that, like, I guess, bias against it for overwatching. But
Mm-hmm.
I could still watch it, you know, and still enjoy it. So I'm gonna give it a. I think I'm gonna give it a. No, I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5. That's my
Oh,
rating.
all right. Well, still, it's not too far off. Definitely fair. But there you guys have it. I give it a 7, and Mr. Alex Payne gives it a 6.5. My name's Ray Rawlins. His is Alex Payne. This is the Ray Rawlins Network, where we talk cartoons and we damn near do it daily. We will see you guys tomorrow for the SpongeBob review, the classic SpongeBob review, and all that. And we're gonna be undergoing some changes soon. So more on that over this weekend. Got a little podcast coming out explaining everything. But with all that being said, we will see you when we see you. Peace.